Well, I was really young. I was in a bicycle accident with my sister and knocked all four of my front teeth out when I was 5. So I was without teeth for, as a kid until, you know, probably fourth grade. So, and when they came in really crooked because they didn't have any guidance. So I was always embarrassed to smile and I didn't want to show anyone my teeth. So, of course, I got braces. That was a thing to do. And I wore braces for 4 years, headgear, the whole thing, super embarrassing. And then, when they came off, I liked my teeth okay, but I was never totally satisfied with the way that they looked. So then I went to my dentist a couple times complaining, thinking I could do braces again, but didn't want to go through that trauma. So my dentist suggested that I should try Lumineers because he thought that it could give me the smile that I wanted. The process was a lot simpler than I thought it would be. I only had to go to my dentist 3 times. So I went in and took the impressions, and then he sent the impressions out. And then I also had a consultation with him to kind of explain what I wanted my smile to look like. And then he fit me for them the next day. I felt great and it was really seamless. And what I liked about the process is that my dentist told me that when my impressions go to Lumineers, that they stay in-house through Lumineers. So everyone from the artist to the person who's specifically working on my teeth, they're right there. So it's a real peace of mind to know that with Lumineers, your case is very specific to you and they watch over it and make sure that you're happy and get the results that you want. I love that my Lumineers blend in with my smile and my other teeth, so they look so natural and they're feminine. So I don't look like a man. I look like myself, but just the better version of myself. I can smile now. I don't have to think back and worry that, someone might see my crooked teeth. It's now I want to smile, I want to show it off, and it's great when you can laugh and not cover your mouth. So Lumineers has made a huge difference in my self-confidence and my willingness to take pictures. It's been amazing. I'm Annie and I have 4 Lumineers and I love it that people don't even know.
When I was a young girl, while my teeth were forming, really young girl, I was given tetracycline. And so when my permanent adult teeth grew in, they were stained, badly stained. And I grew up all through high school with that. It really traumatized me because everybody had, braces and perfectly straight white teeth. And I was sort of an outcast and needed to have something done about my teeth really badly. So I had bonding done for about 10 years, and that helped somewhat, but the bonding is really just very opaque and not natural looking. So I went to my dentist, who is also my new dentist, who is also a cosmetic dentist, and he suggested getting Lumineers. And I saw before and after pictures, and I was concerned because they looked so natural if they would be able to cover up the stains on my teeth. I went forward with it because I'd seen pictures of other people who had tetracycline stains similar to mine, and I was really impressed. So I went forward with it and got them, and they really changed my life. I couldn't believe it the first time I looked in the mirror after getting them at the dentist. I thought, I don't need to wear lipstick ever again. And I just was smiling and smiling, and I didn't know what it was like to smile so much. I felt so much happier and so uplifted. And that was 10 years ago, and these Lumineers have lasted a long time. After I got the Lumineers, I felt that trauma had been lifted from me, like a big weight was lifted off my shoulders. I love to smile. I'm a happy person. I always was, but the Lumineers really brought it out of me and gave me the self-confidence boost that I really needed in life. People don't know that I have Lumineers. They just think I have naturally beautiful teeth. It's my smile, but much better. It looks like my teeth, same shape of my teeth, but just enhanced 1,000,000%. I'm Cheryl Lee. I have a full set of Lumineers, and if you're unhappy with your smile, you should get Lumineers too.
Well, the issue with my teeth was back in 2009. I was in a really brutal car accident, and I had 8 broken teeth. So when my parents flew down to take me to physical therapy and everything, my mom being in the dental field, automatically is, oh, you got to get Lumineers. That's the only way we're gonna fix this because there was 8 broken teeth there. My mom obviously kind of took the reins there and recommended the specialist that she had worked with before. And so I felt, obviously it's my mom, so she's not going to steer me in the wrong direction. And due to the natures of all the injuries, I was going through a lot of pain. So the good thing about the Lumineers was it was completely like a painless procedure to have done. And I was obviously so happy with my results, and having pain everywhere else. It was great to have like no pain and being able to eat and everything else. Well, most people get this procedure done to like they may not be happy with their teeth. For me, it was essential because I didn't want to be on a yogurt and soy milk diet for the rest of my life. So, and I do remember the first time I was able to have a steak. It was like the best steak I've ever had because biting into that steak and knowing like confident that it was gonna be all good was awesome. I'm Matt. I have 8 Lumineers, and I couldn't be happier.
Growing up, I had this space in between my teeth, and it was quite large. And kids would make fun, like, can you whistle through your teeth? Or, it was an old saying, you can stick a nickel between there. And so, I wouldn't smile. I'd cover my mouth when pictures would be taken, or just school pictures, especially. Most kids would look forward to that. I would dread school pictures because of my smile. I went through that through grade school, through high school, and my dentist, when I was probably about 16, said, do you want to try bonding? So I had those for a couple of years, and those they're just like paper. They kind of flake off after a while. And then I didn't know about veneers. My dentist recommended Lumineers about 8 years ago. Probably the procedure, I wasn't too clear on it. The dentist kind of said it's going to be easy, it's going to be short, pain-free, but I still didn't really trust him. So I was a little skeptical, and it was under an hour, all 4 teeth. And it was truly pain-free and easy. I feel that the Lumineers were a good fit with my natural teeth, and now that I know it was a quick and easy process, I would probably go with 2 more. It widens your smile if you get them on the next 2 teeth. Kids that knew me, or people that knew me from growing up, they always knew I had that space because it was a large space, and they don't know what's different. They just say, you look different, or your smile's so nice, or I never tell them really, but something's different that looks good. Lumineers can help people have more confidence in just in life in general. And with confidence, you can, maybe get that job instead of being so shy. And I think it can change lives, actually. I don't think twice about taking a picture with my kids. I love getting in there and smiling with them, and documenting memories. I'm Kim, and I have 4 Lumineers, and I think it's changed my life.
I really didn't like the way my teeth looked. My teeth were really small, especially my first top 4. And they had spaces in between them. I got braces, and I still had spaces, and they were small. I didn't like the way they looked. I really wanted my teeth to look different, but I was kind of worried because you see people with their teeth that look like pieces. They look like something that's stuck in your mouth that's not from you, or they're too white, and they just look fake. And I didn't want my teeth to look like that at all. I thought I was going to have to do something else that was a lot more painful. I was so grateful when he told me about Lumineers. So my dentist was the one who really recommended Lumineers because the process was painless and it was faster. Really walked me through the process of getting Lumineers and everything that needed to be done, and just even matching the Lumineers to my teeth and getting my teeth whitened to match the correct color, and even letting me see my molds of what the Lumineers would look like to really make sure that they would fit my smile. Lumineers gave me so much more confidence because it gave me so much more freedom to be just like open and not worry about what my teeth look like. Especially being young, you don't want people to realize when you have something that's not your own. It's the best feeling when somebody just thinks that something great of yours is completely yours. Lumineers definitely gave me my smile. They look 100% real. Like, these Lumineers don't look fake, they look like my teeth. They give me a smile that really fits me. I'm Renee, I have 4 Lumineers, and I love them.
Actually, I had great teeth when I was a kid, but as I get older, I got wisdom teeth, and they started pushing my top teeth, and I got really, really crooked teeth up front, and it started looking really bad when I was like in late teen years. I did consider braces, but like I said, it's 2 years, and I was in my late teens, beginning 20s, and I really didn't want to go out on the dates with braces and metal and spend all the time inside an orthodontist's office fixing and tightening and everything. I wanted my natural smile just better fixed. I had the best dentist ever. It's just something that I wanted to do, was fix my teeth. Got referred to by another really great dentist, and first time I came in, I was not very optimistic about the whole idea. Had my concerns, had my fears. I thought it might be really painful. It was my biggest fear, which it was not. It was not painful at all, and I was afraid that I'm not gonna look the same, which was not true. It was the same me, just better. The best part was the payment plan. Obviously, when I got out of college, I wasn't the richest person in the world, but the payment plan was very convenient. I was able to take care of payment for the Lumineers in my own pace as it worked for me, and the doctor was so knowledgeable. It just set my mind at ease, my heart at ease, and never looked back. It's even better than I expected. I was worried when I got a cavity behind one of my Lumineers, then it's going to be very hard to fix. It's going to be a hassle. I'm probably going to have to take it off or something like that. I was really worried to even approach my dentist about it. Turned out to be not a problem at all. It was very easy to fix. The dentist just went from behind. It was just as simple to fix as any other tooth. I got my Lumineers about 8 years ago. And my new dentist hasn't been able to tell that I have Lumineers until he was actually looked really close in my mouth. So it was very surprising and shocking to me that it looks so natural. You can't even tell. A professional can't even tell by the first look. So the best compliment I could have possibly gotten was, "You look beautiful." And nobody could even tell why I look beautiful. It just generally looked beautiful. And the fact was, I got Lumineers. I'm Lydia, I have 5 Lumineers, and I just love my smile.
Well, initially, I had one of my front teeth a little bit turned, and in every family photo, everything, clear up until I was 22, it made me feel very, very insecure. And so I wasn't real confident smiling really big, and I thought about it every time I was in a picture, or just even talking to people, opening your mouth and giving that really, just nice smile genuinely. It was always in the back of your mind. So I ended up spending quite a bit of money on getting my front 2 teeth at the time with veneers, and it was just in the beginning okay, but they didn't feel as natural as Lumineers feel, and I got used to them, but then also every couple of months one would pop off. My dentist had suggested Lumineers.
I hadn't met him until my veneers started popping off. And I couldn't understand, initially, I thought maybe it was my teeth, what was, causing them to pop off like that. So I decided I've got to look into other alternatives. And I had spoke with a few of my friends who had had Lumineers put on and who had had no issues whatsoever. They're very light. They feel like your natural teeth. I mean, all of that. So I went ahead and took the plunge and had those put on. And ever since then, I feel confident that they're not going to fall off. With regular veneers, they feel like when you bite into an apple, one of them's going to pop off. I mean, you've got to be very careful. With Lumineers, you can bite into an apple and your teeth's going to stay on. Those are going to look just fine. I have never had a single issue in 12 years. They feel like your natural teeth. You don't have like an extra heaviness. You don't have to worry about biting into certain things as though they're going to give you trouble. I am so confident in the fact that they are dependable, they're cost effective, and they last for years. It helps your self-confidence so much in so many different environments, not just in pictures, but when you're talking to people and doing normal everyday things. You feel natural. I'm Amber. I have 4 Lumineers, and I love them. They are absolutely wonderful.
My experience with Lumineers was really a simple and quick one. I was in a dentist for just a regular cleaning. Began to tell my dentist an issue I've been dealing with for a while. I had a baby tooth right in the very front, and I became very self-conscious about it, and it was just a little tooth that would not grow in. With it being in the very front, I became very subconscious about smiling, and I started getting into pageants when I was in high school. You have to smile a lot when you're in pageants, and I really didn't want to smile. I would always smile with my mouth closed. So I was like, okay, I got to do something about this because I want to continue in pageants. I want to be able to smile and not be thinking about it. My dentist definitely recommended Lumineers, where I could get just one tooth up to all of my teeth done, and told me that it would look totally natural, that you wouldn't even be able to tell which one I had done. And so I was like, yes, please give me more information. They tell you what it'll match perfectly, but you're not really sure until you see it. So I was definitely just afraid that would it look like my natural smile. My dentist was great. He told me from beginning to end what the process would be. He walked me through every step of the way. He sent me home with information. So I went home and thought about it. Went back the next day, got it done. There was no pain. It was simple. It was easy. I just couldn't believe how fast the process was, and it blended so well that you couldn't even tell which tooth I had done. It's amazing. I definitely think Lumineers is the best. I just couldn't believe the results. I mean, it looked natural. I couldn't even tell what tooth I had gotten done. It blended with my smile perfectly. Definitely my family members and friends that knew, before I got it done, they just couldn't believe it because you couldn't even tell. It looks totally natural. It blended in so well. So really just how natural it looked was the biggest compliment that I got from those who knew me before. And I'm definitely glad that I did because it's definitely the best decision I've made for my smile so far. I'm Claudia, and Lumineers fixed my smile.
The main reason that I got Lumineers is because I had taken my daughter, who was 16 at the time, into the dentist. She had broken her 2 front teeth while she was ice skating. The dentist suggested that we do Lumineers, and so I didn't have a clue what it was, and then he told me what it was and what the cost was, and all I could think about is, this is a 16-year-old girl, I got to do it. And a month later, after her mouth healed from the breakage and everything, we had the Lumineers on, and she was so thrilled. They just looked so beautiful. And when I went into the dentist, he noticed that one of my teeth was sideways, and I had lived with it forever. I had braces, but the braces didn't correct it, so I had this sideways tooth, and I said, wow, her teeth look so good. And he said, Joan, yours can look like that too. And I asked the dentist about it and if I was too old, and he said, no, of course not, you can get them. and he told me that I'd need 6, and I was concerned about the cost of the Lumineers, primarily because I had just paid for my daughter, and I asked him if we could do some kind of payment plan, and he did it with us. I said, okay, let's do it, and he put them on, and actually before he did that, he said, you know, you might want them lengthened a little bit because your teeth are real short, and I thought that would change my speech, and he told me it wouldn't, and it hasn't. I was concerned about how they would blend in with my other teeth, but I mean, the dentist took care of that, because when they get the Lumineers, I guess they match them up to your teeth that are on the side, and no, I don't think anybody's ever noticed. So I have these great Lumineers. I have a great smile from it. It was so worth it. I mean, for my daughter, for me, it all blends in, and I love it, and I haven't had any problems in 11 years, and I'm going on 12 years in May. So it's been worth every penny that I put into it, and I have a great smile, and everybody always tells me what a great smile I have, and they ask who my orthodontist is, and I said, it's not my orthodontist, it's my Lumineers. I'm Joan. I have 6 Lumineers, and I love the confidence that I've gotten from having them.
When I was a little girl, I had horrible teeth. So they stuck out. There were big gaps in them. It was really bad. So my mom got me braces when I was in junior high, and they straightened out my teeth and even closed them up. But apparently my mouth continued to grow, and so when I was a young adult, I had these huge spaces between my teeth. So one day my dentist and I were talking, and she suggested that I get Lumineers, and that would close up the gaps between both my front teeth and the teeth right next to them. And I thought about it. I wasn't sure about it. I was afraid they were going to look fake. I've seen other people that have had dental work done, and their teeth are discolored, or they don't fit, or they're the wrong size, or they just look fake, and I really didn't want that to be me. So I went home and I thought, but then I went back and I said, okay, let's do it. So I went for one appointment, and the dentist kind of prepped my teeth, and the next appointment she put the Lumineers in, and we were done. And I love them. They look great. They look so natural. It made me feel more attractive and less self-conscious about how I looked. I'm a professional speaker, and so I'm in front of large numbers of people all the time. And so, again, it just gives me a lot of confidence. And, you know, as much as we think that looks shouldn't matter, they matter. And so it's good that I feel good about how I look. So I think the best benefit about this is that I feel great. And so, you know, I do smile more. I smiled a lot already, but I smile more. I just feel comfortable. They just look like my, you know, natural teeth, only better. My name is Loretta, and I have 2 Lumineers, and I love them.
I had been to the dentist, and I had an issue with one of my crowns, and it had broken off, and basically I really had no other option. I went to a doctor to get a root canal, and that was not an option. So I was really kind of backed up against the wall. I remember calling my husband and telling him that I was going to have something done, because there was just no way they were going to be able to save those teeth with a root canal. And I was just like in tears in the car. And he was like, you know, trying to calm me down. He said, oh, we'll be able to find something. We'll be able to figure out something. I work with kids. And for me not to be able to smile and show them the love and the confidence, yeah, it would definitely affect my whole personality. And that's what I was afraid of when we came to that point and something had to be done. You know, I needed something that I knew that was going to be natural. It was going to be me. My dentist recommended Lumineers. He and I both knew we really had no other choice. You know, there was no other way to fix the teeth. So he recommended Lumineers, and I was excited. He was a dentist that I had, you know, been years with. So when he recommended something like this, I knew that he had researched it, and he knew that, you know, it was probably going to be the best thing. If I went with something different, I'm afraid that I wouldn't open my mouth much. I wouldn't have the smile that you see now. You know, I went through the process, and I have no complaints at all. It was totally well worth it. You know, it kind of gave me confidence, gave me my smile back. I love it. You know what I mean? I just, in my field and what I do, just every day, I am so happy that I made the choice to step out there and know, you know, this is the right thing. Yeah, it wasn't in the budget, but we just had to make it work because I couldn't imagine after being introduced to it and knowing that this was the right thing to do, and going back and trying to find an alternative motive. It just really wouldn't have been possible. You know, I was at that crossroad, kind of in the road, needing to make a decision, and I went down the right road, and very proud that I did. I'm married, and I have 3 Lumineers, and I could not be happier.
I was a guy who was one of the original skateboarders in LA in the 60s. And I was coming down the slope of my driveway and bam, hit a crack and landed smack dead on my face. I thought, well, heck, I'll just keep the chipped tooth and that'll be who I am. Then I had it capped for a period of time, but there still was a gap between my teeth. I was a guy who had a gap. And I got tired of looking at that. 20 some odd years later, I decided it's a time for a change. My desire was to be, you know, a different person. So I had it done, and it's just been night and day. All my friends and family, they just rejoiced and said, "Who are you? You've remade yourself." Lumineers have changed my life. As a salesman, you need a smile that wins. And when I got my gap taken away, had my teeth done right, wow, what can I say? Everything increased 100-fold. This was a natural fix. And I tell you, I just couldn't imagine. My wife is jealous because all the women are looking at me now. I'm Robert, and I've had 4 Lumineers. It's the smile that wins.